Greetings, everyone. This is Manifest Roz. Pleasure to be here on this auspicious day. We want to welcome everyone. I'm the founder and spiritual director of Heal Humanity, a global movement to help create an enlightened earth. And so on this day, we are here to help co-create an enlightened earth. We're putting out a call to visionaries, evolutionaries, and healers to help create the world that we want to see, the world that we want to embody, to live in, to thrive in, not just to survive in, but thrive in. So I'm excited today. We have an awesome group of light workers who are going to be sharing some love and light and wisdom. We're going to be sharing tips, solutions for personal and planetary transformation. It is a pivotal time in our human history on this planet, right here, right now, to look within ourselves, not to the next leader, to the next community, a national leader, but the leader within. We all are blessed with that leader within, that higher self, that God consciousness that speaks to us all the time. And so I'm very excited today to get started. We have, again, a great lineup. We're going to be offering tips. We want everyone to tune in and to share ideas, suggestions, feedback, your own ideas in the live YouTube chat. We want to hear from you. What are some of the concerns and dreams that you have for humanity? We're going to be giving you some meditation, some visualization, some affirmation to help with your elevation. And with that, we want to welcome our first guest light worker, Reverend Dr. Anthony Farmer. He is an interfaith minister from Visions of the Heart Ministry, a shamanic healer and teacher. Welcome, Anthony Farmer, Reverend Anthony Farmer. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for being this beautiful experience. The drums have been beating for a while now, so it forecasts a beautiful experience.
Indeed. And so, when we talk about visions of the heart, we're talking about heart activation. Many of us are in our heads and we're thinking too much. And insomnia is a big issue. People can't just stop thinking. Some people are watching this broadcast right now and thinking about something else as opposed to be fully present. And there's certain wisdom traditions that speak to how, when we're in tune with our heart, or what we call the heart mind, it's a higher level of intelligence. And so, before we get started with your prayer, let's just tune in to that heart frequency, everyone. Tune in, and we're going to allow Reverend Anthony Farmer to lead us with a planetary and personal opening prayer.
One of the ways that we can tap into our heart frequency, our heart space, is to connect to it physically. So if you would place your left hand or your right hand, your choice, right in the center of your chest, the place of the heart chakra, the center of your beingness. And when we get quiet enough, when we get still enough, we can feel our heart beating. And then we can move deeper into that silence. We can hear our heart beating. So this is one way that we can connect to our heart space, to begin physically with your hand on your heart. And this prayer I offer is adapted from a Lakota Sioux prayer. Lakota Sioux are first indigenous people in north central, what is now North America, but north central Turtle Island. And this prayer is an adaptation of one of their prayers. O our Father, the sky, and the grandmothers and grandfathers of the sky, hear us and make us strong. We open our hearts and we receive strength. O our mother, the earth, grandmothers and grandfathers of the earth, hear us and give us your support. We open our hearts and receive support. O Spirit of the East, grandmothers and grandfathers of the East, hear us and send us your wisdom. And we open our hearts and receive wisdom. O Spirit of the South, grandmothers and grandfathers of the South, may we tread your path of life. And we open our hearts and follow their path of life. O Spirit of the West, grandmothers and grandfathers of the West, may we always be ready for the long journey. And we open our hearts and are ready for the long journey. O Spirit of the North, grandmothers and grandfathers of the North, purify us with your cleansing winds. And we open our hearts and receive purification and cleansing. O Spirit of the heart of the universe, grandmothers and grandfathers of the heart of the universe, bless us with your heart love and your heart light. And we open our hearts and receive and share the heart love and the heart light of the universal heart. Amen, Ashe, Aho, Waho. Let it be so, and it is so.
So much, Reverend Farmer. Uh, why is it in this day and age that it's imperative that we get in tune and live from the heart mind? When we look at the level of polarization and divisiveness, anxiety, um, ego dramas and traumas being played out, how important is it, essential is it to live and be in tune with one's heart?
One of the most important reasons for us to get in tune or get back in tune, because at our core, at our essence, we are in tune with our heart space. One of the most important reasons is because it is a part of us. It is part of our core. It is that part of us that connects us to spirit. There is the conversation of our mind connecting with divine mind, and our heart connects with divine heart. And so by only focusing on the mind and the thoughts, we're not bringing ourselves wholly present, wholly present. And so opening to our heart space and reconnecting to that aspect of us, that core aspect of us, it supports us in bringing ourselves to our whole self, our whole self. There's a quote, I believe it was Toni Morrison that said, um, you know, we live our lives, and then by the time we get to be 12, 13, 14, we're taught to shut off our emotions. We're taught to depress our emotions. We're taught to cut off our
Okay,
heart space.
great. Now that's a very heartfelt explanation, as we could say, pun intended. So, Reverend Anthony Farmer, if you can lead us through a heart activation experience, that would be greatly appreciated. That would be something that we would all be excited about and we will welcome. Please share. You got the cosmic floor.
Ashe. So, if join me in gently closing your eyes, lowering your gaze, and I offer for you to place your left hand, your giving hand or your receiving hand, on your heart and connect to that rhythm, that heartbeat, your heartbeat, that inhale, outhale, and that beat of the heart. And the last line of the prayer said that we open our hearts to receive and share the heart love and heart light of the universal heart. We're already connected to the universal heart. And so by us paying attention to our hearts, we recognize that connection. And our hearts are filled with love and light. Our hearts are filled with love and light. And so as we breathe, our inhale, our exhale, we connect to that love and light. We connect to that universal love and universal light that is part of our hearts, that is at the core of our hearts. And as we breathe, imagine that love and light grows and it expands. It grows and it expands and it fills your heart. And imagine that it overflows from your heart into your body and your beingness, such that your whole body is filled with that universal heart love and universal heart light. And all the while, the heart is still beating and you're still breathing. And as we inhale and exhale, we allow that love and light to overflow from ourselves outward, around us, and then beyond us, and allow it to flow. Imagine it to flow and expand above us, below us, around us, and it expands beyond us. And a collective consciousness, we expand that heart love and heart light to the earth and all of the earth and all on the earth. And then we imagine that it extends beyond the earth, and that universal heart light that is radiating from our hearts is now encompassing the whole earth and beyond. And all we do is recognize, believe, know, and breathe, and it automatically happens. So our hearts, already filled with love and light, universal love, universal light, as we breathe and remember and know that we're connected to that universal love, that universal light, it continues to overflow from us out beyond and around the world. Remember, know, allow it to flow from you, allow the overflow to flow from you out to the world and beyond. We begin with making sure that our hearts are filled with that love and light, and then it overflows outward. We are giving from the overflow. We are allowing from the overflow. And for us to call forth an enlightened earth, a new earth, first we begin with our own enlightened heart, our own new heart, our own heart filled with the love and light, and allow it to manifest from the overflow outward, beyond, and around the earth. And now bring your consciousness back to yourself. Bring your awareness or forward to yourself, but knowing that that connection with the universal light, universal love, universal heart light, universal heart love is still there. It's always there. And as we remember that, our breathing, as we walk our journey, we're continuously giving from the overflow into the earth and around the earth. But it begins in our hearts and extends outward. So bring yourself present. Nice deep breath in and exhale to bring yourself present. You may tap your heart space gently and compassionately to bring yourself to the physical, making sure that you're back in your bodies for those who left. And remember, in whatever we create, whatever we wish to see in this world and beyond, we begin with seeing it, knowing it, realizing it, visualizing it in our hearts. This is the fertile ground that we plant those seeds and let it grow from this fertile soil. Amen. Ashe. Waho. It is so.
Reverend Dr. Anthony Farmer. That was a blessed heart activation. We're all a bit lighter in releasing some of what no longer serves us. If you could give a few tips or strategies, solutions for how we can navigate these very, it seems to be, Reverend Farmer, um, challenging times, so to speak. What would those strategies or tips be? All right, welcome back, everyone. We want to thank Reverend Dr. Anthony Farmer for that empowering, transformative heart healing activation. When we are in tune with the heart, everything shifts. We hear the adage, live from the heart, be in tune with the heart, speak from your heart. If you're still with us, Dr. Farmer, Anthony Farmer, if you can give us a tip or a strategy to help us navigate these times, that would be so welcome if you're still with us. Okay, maybe Reverend Farmer has moved on, but we thank him. I think he provided more than enough to live from the heart. We're going to welcome now Reverend Tanya Parker. She is a shamanic healer in her own right. She is the creatrix of Mind Body Soul Food, a holistic healer, Reiki master, massage therapist. She does just about everything. She works with women's groups as a witches group, women in tune with conscious healing. Welcome, Reverend Tanya Parker. How you doing today?
I am doing well, Brother Manifest. Thank you so much for this beautiful invitation to be in this sacred space with everyone.
Honor to have you here. So, Reverend Tanya, if you with all of this censorship going on in our communities and in our world, sometimes within our own family, sometimes we don't want to speak our truth because we're fearful of how that's going to be taken or whether we're going to be judged to live authentically. In many wisdom traditions, it speaks about how we have an authentic or our own story, our own voice. Why is it important that we speak our truth and we live from our own voice in these times?
Mm, excellent question. Now more than ever, we are called to not just speak our truth, but to live our truth. You know, when we talk about throat chakra energy, we're not just talking about our communication, we're talking about our full expression. And for us to live out our purpose that we're called to be in this world, you know, it's important for us to show up authentically, to remember, bring those pieces back to ourselves, the truth of who we are in spirit, spiritual beings having a human experience, and in expressing the uniqueness of our voice. You know, we need all of us together. It's like a beautiful quilt. That's the way I see it. And if we rely too much on one voice, we miss out on so much. We miss out on what we are called here to do, to be, to create. And so it's important for all of us to feel empowered to speak our truth.
Now, in a world where you have 8 billion plus people, it can be very easy to just blend in, to kind of mute ourselves. and
Mhm.
to say the same things others are saying, parrot the mainstream media. What does that do to us when we're not speaking from our authentic voice?
Well, it can have quite a few impacts to the mind, body, and spirit. It can show up in our physical body. When any type of chakra that may be blocked, so to speak, or that's not flowing fully, then what can happen is we can see things manifest within the body. But also, it impacts our mind, it impacts us emotionally, spiritually, because when we are not being ourselves, it takes a lot of energy to follow that crowd, to ignore our natural inclinations, our natural way of being and doing. And so that creates conflict within us. And so you can see that show up in mental health issues. You can see that show up in spiritual disconnection. You can see that show up in issues where we have ailments that can manifest within the body, as I mentioned before. And you see us as a
Indeed.
collective not moving forth and bringing forth what we are to bring forth. Because as above, so below, as within, as without. So what happens to us individually shows up in the collective.
Indeed. I even think of families and schools and classrooms when you have voices that are not heard, those that lack of a voice within someone being activated and amplified tends to turn into a negative scenario. It begins to stagnate not just the person that's refusing to speak their truth, but it that the world doesn't receive, the planet, the human family doesn't receive the blessing that the special DNA activation that person has to give
Mm.
within their
Mhm.
own being, within their own right. So, Reverend Tanya, if you can share with us an experience of getting in tune with the throat chakra, and then we also want to hear a few strategies or tips afterwards on how we can leave here being more empowered to speak our truth and how that can help heal humanity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, Rev Bear, as we call Reverend Dr. Anthony Farmer, opened up with such a beautiful space and got us into our hearts. So, I invite everyone to just enter back into that space, to get settled in, to close your eyes or lower your gaze, and connect with your breath, just breathing in and out at your own rhythm and pace. And we're going to turn our attention to our throat chakra, which is located at the base of our throat. And this chakra is essential because it's the bridge connecting our lower chakras along with the heart chakra. So it's the centers of our earthly grounding, our personal power, and our compassion, with the upper chakras, which guide us toward wisdom, insight, and connection to the divine. So, this chakra represents our ability to communicate, to express ourselves honestly, and give voice to our truth. And as we move forward into this experience, continuing to breathe, let us remember that A Course in Miracles tells us that when we are healed, we are not healed alone. So, the concept of non duality tells us that we are one. So, all of our efforts are part of the collective effort. What you are healing or transforming within yourself is what is healing and transforming within our world, within our universe. Each breath you take also represents the breath of others. Each tone you make is also for our worldwide sisters and brothers. So today we're going to draw some inspiration from our ancestors. And in his excellent book, My Grandmother's Hands by Resmaa Menakem, we learn how our ancestors often expressed themselves and processed emotions through simple, profound acts like humming, and rocking. And these practices were grounding and healing. Humming, especially, resonates in our bodies and echoes through generations. And as we tune into our individual and collective voices today, we honor their legacy of resilience and we find our own power to speak, hum, and express freely. So I invite you to take a few deep grounding breaths. And as you inhale through your nose, feel energy rising from the earth, traveling up through your body. And as you exhale through your mouth, imagine releasing any blocks around your throat, freeing your voice. And now we're going to hum together. And, I invite you to release judgment of how you sound, or if you stick to one note or go into several. So as you inhale, you breathe in air, and as you exhale, hum softly and feel that vibration in your throat, gently awakening this energy center. And just allow this hum to be soft, gentle, like the sound of a lullaby. And feel it not just in your throat, but in your heart center, connecting them. So breathing in. And breathe. And now we'll add a simple mantra in a moment. When you exhale, you'll repeat in a gentle whisper or in your mind, I am free to express my truth. And then we are free to express our truth. And as you do so, just visualize a soft blue light, the color resonating with the throat chakra, surrounding your throat. And this light just grows with every hum and with every mantra, creating a safe space for our voice, for our truth, and for our unique expression. And what you'll do is let it expand and envelop you and the world, the universe in peace. So inhale. I am free to express my truth. Inhale. We are free to express our truth. And you can do this with your humming if you'd like. I am free to express my truth. We are free to express our truth. I am free to express my truth. We are free to express our truth. And one last time. I am free to express my truth. We are free to express our truth. And just breathe. And now imagine the energy of your open heart chakra just flowing up to meet your throat, blending compassion and expression. And this connection allows your words to come from a place of love and authenticity. You might want to place one hand over your heart, like Rev Bear had you do, and one gently over your throat. Mm. And feel the strength in your heart flowing through your throat, giving power to your voice. And now integrating it all on our exhales. I express the truth lovingly. We express the truth lovingly. So inhale. I express the truth lovingly. We express the truth lovingly. I express the truth lovingly. We express the truth lovingly. I express the truth lovingly. We express the truth lovingly. And just breathe. And let's all take one last collective breath together, expanding our bellies as we inhale, feeling it come up through our chest, holding it for a moment of gratitude, and through our mouth, just release with a hum. And as we close this experience, know that this connection to your throat chakra is just one powerful pathway to share your light and truth with the world. And I invite you to integrate it into your daily rituals. And may your voice resonate with the healing power of those who came before you. And may it bring peace to those who hear it or who are open on any level to receive it through our collective consciousness. And with that, we give thanks. Namaste.
Namaste. You spoke it into existence. Thank you so much, Reverend Parker. When we hear about the spoken word, um, we hear many wisdom traditions on how in the beginning was the word. And we know through invocation, incantations, we can speak matters, scenarios, circumstances into existence. We can manifest with the
Yes.
spoken word. So,
Yes.
just being mindful in tune with the mind and the heart on what we're saying, when we're saying, why we're saying it, can create a better world within itself, because many times we're just saying things unconsciously. We're not mindful of what we're saying, and we have the ability to heal, harm, or kill with those words. So,
Yes.
what would you suggest that we do to be more mindful with the words that we have with our vocal cords, with our throat chakra? How can we be more mindful about what we're saying?
Thank you, Manifest, for that question. It's important to remember that we are beings that are full of water. What some say 70, 75, 80% water. And the studies of Dr. Emoto spoke to the impact of our words and the vibration of the words on water crystals. And so, not to go into all of that, realizing our body is full of water. And if we know that words of a higher vibration are going to create beauty and all sorts of wonderful yumminess, then we would want to speak that not just to water, but to all beings, right? And words with a lower vibration show up like water crystals in sewage and things that we connotate as negative, then we would want to be more conscious about what we speak. So, a thought is to envision the most innocent, lovely little baby within your arms. And, what words would we speak to this baby? So, we envision the innocence within that person that we're speaking with, or that we may be directing a message to, and really keep in mind, what is it that we want to create, not destroy with their words. And so just being in touch with that energy of innocence, that energy of divinity that we speak to when we say namaste, seeing the divine in every living thing, then that can help bring us to that consciousness. So it's a continual reminder, reminder, reminder. And we'll mess up sometimes, of course, and we forgive ourselves. We, make amends as we can, and we go back and reset and remember what we're trying to create, that beautiful crystalline structure of the water that's flowing through all of us versus that structure that really is unappealing to all of us.
Thank you so much, Reverend Parker. And for someone like yourself who is aligned with just personal magic, that higher quality within your own being, that God consciousness, and being able to use the spoken word, affirmations, and mantras. These are things that we all can do on a daily basis. And so, in alignment with what you just shared, I would just add that let's ask ourselves before we speak: is it kind? Is it truthful? And last but not least, is it necessary? And if we can
Mm,
ask ourselves those questions before we speak to family members, to friends, to coworkers, we'll find that oftentimes we're moving beyond our ego mind and aligning with the heart mind, like Reverend
yes.
Farmer shared with us several minutes ago. And so, thank you so much, Reverend Tanya Parker, for this beautiful, cosmic, powerful throat chakra activation. We greatly appreciate it, greatly
Mm,
loved everything that you shared with us, and help us continue to heal humanity and create an enlightened earth.
Ashe. Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed. And so that is a question we must all ask. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And if we can kind of just periodically do that self check, we'll find that we're lifting others up. We're being more affirmative. We're being more loving, more kind. Our higher self is speaking through us as opposed to our ego and our lower self. And so, thank you so much, Reverend Tanya Parker, for helping us to embrace that higher mind, that heart, mind, throat activation. And so, with that, we're going to shift gears now. We're going to continue to move forward. We want to ask those who are tuning in to give some feedback in the live chat, share your ideas for an enlightened earth, your concerns, your suggestions. We want to hear from you. As we see it, everyone on the planet right now is a light worker. It's just a matter of if you're remembering it. You're remembering, bringing your mind, your heart, your lower nature, all in accordance to bring all of those aspects within your being, those God conscious aspects within your being, to speak your truth. And so, with that, we want to shift gears to bring in Brother Che Axum, an agronomist, an organic farmer. He's done great work with UDC. He is the director of urban agriculture and gardening education at University of District of Columbia. He's worked in the school systems. He works with college students. I've learned a lot from him, my own family. We're going to show you in just a little bit some of the things that Che has taught many people throughout this region here. And we want to really encourage everyone to grow your own, grow some food. I don't care if you have an apartment, if you're in a co-living situation, if you have a will, if you have a desire to, you can grow something. So, well, with that, Brother Che Axel, welcome. Thank you for sharing time with us on this auspicious day to help us co-create an enlightened earth. How you doing today, sir?
Thank you, brother Manifest. Yeah, as I want to first of all, I'd like to thank the two presenters, reverends who kind of gave us that very insightful kind of inspirational kind of presentations because it all kind of ties into kind of what I'm talking about now, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about what I talk about, but the agriculture, the spiritual, the spiritual art and science of agriculture. All those things that were talked about earlier. encompasses all of that. When I speak to people sometimes, and talking about science, I say, agriculture is the mother of all sciences, and and that is just a science. It is a spiritual science. So thank you everybody for that, and I yeah,
Brother Che, you just said something very important.
sure,
You said it's a spiritual science. Of course, we had an elder in our community recently became an ancestor,
yeah,
Brother Aduno,
yeah,
and
my
his
guy, that's
mantra
my guy,
was,
that's my
yeah,
guy,
right.
yeah,
There's no agriculture. There's no culture without agriculture. And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
if we want to create a more enlightened earth, then one of the best ways we can do that is to plant our seeds, not just metaphysically and mentally, but actually in the ground. And there's nothing more empowering to a certain extent than to plant seeds in the ground, and then within days and within 7-day cycles and months
right,
and months, we're seeing the fruits of our labor. And so,
right.
speak a little bit before you go further on just how empowering that is for a human being to plant a seed into for that to germinate and to come into fruition.
Yeah, well, in many ways, I mean, in most places, sometimes, in most cases, when you put a seed into the ground, we call it direct seeding. Whether you if you're direct seeding carrots or radishes or some crops, or it's easier to grow if you direct seed. If you just drop a seed into the soil and then I mean, that's an act of faith. You have faith, or you have faith in believing that this seed that you put in is good seed. That's all that biblical is biblical. It's good seed, bad seed that is going to come up in a certain amount of time. So yeah, so you really your faith is in around that to make that happen. So yeah, so it's about
Absolutely.
faith. It's about, and then you have to have a little. Then when it comes up, that's when you have to have a little imagination. You have to have a little kind of wherewithal and experience to get that from a seed you put in the ground to something you can put on your plate.
Indeed.
So that's where you're really kind of challenged to do so. But I mean, one of the things I gave Bob, talking about Bob Aduno, we were close, so we always talked all the time. And so I met Bob Aduno many in the '90s. I mean, when I started an organic farm in Jessup, Maryland, and also in Upper Marlboro. He was part of that. He would come and help periodically when he came, when he could, when he had time. So we were always kind of. And one of the last things I gave him was a copy of there's a book out, and I guess you guys probably some of you will try to find it if you can. But it's called Farming and Gardening in the Bible. So it's really a book. The Bible is an agricultural textbook. It is. If you know how to read it, if you go through it, all the parables about seeds, the agricultural profits, compost, harvest time, grow time, crop failure, all of that is really in there. So I gave him this book, and so he was last time I kind of talked to him. I said, man, have you got into the book, Bob? He said, man, he said, Bob, that's a long read right there. I'm hopefully get it. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it. So I said, well, good, Bob. You get into it. I'm gonna get into it. Reread it again, and we'll compare, our thoughts on it. But then again, he transitioned. But yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Hey, Brother
So
Che,
yeah,
let me ask you in terms of no, thank you so much for sharing that. You're absolutely right. It's metaphysical aspects to growing food. We know Stevie Wonder's with the flower of life.
oh
He
man,
came up with the with the album 30 years ago and things of that nature. We have some visuals we want to show some people of you helping
yeah. And I
people
and I,
grow.
and I and I can probably say a few things about the visuals when they come up because sometimes I like to kind of speak about stuff that I've been privileged to take part of and do. So yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
So we got a few things. I mean, if we start from I guess from the bottom of the screen. I mean, I guess is that a picture of your plot, Baba?
Yes, yes. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
family.
That's
Indeed,
your family.
yes.
They grow food. So yes, I mean, and I was a privilege, happy to last time we had a class that I did. Your mom came and I met her, and so I guess you guys are off and running. But just looking at that picture right there, one thing that really comes to mind is I tell people all the time. I say, look, what you can grow correctly, if you can grow it correctly. you can't even buy that quality in the store because it's not there. I don't care if you go to Whole Foods, Half Foods, wherever you go, the quality is not there. What you can grow, if you can grow it correctly, you can grow something that's much better that you can buy in the store. And it's very simple. It's very simple. And depends on, and there's so many ways you can grow food. I mean, you grow food, in the backyard like you're doing. If you have it's a plot or a balcony or, even indoors. I mean, there's some things you can grow, in all these different situations if you can grow it well. Sometimes you can't even buy that quality in the store because it's not there. So if we're going clockwise, that top left-hand corner is a picture of, like Baba said, I work for, I'm the director of urban ag and garden education for the University District of Columbia. So what's the name? My particular guide and what I'm supposed to do is just go into areas in the city and just try to teach people how to grow food. So this is a picture, top hand left corner is a picture of one of our food hubs. We have a few of these across town. We have that one, which is in Northeast. We have a food hub similar, small to that in Southeast. Food hub on campus. We have a 40,000 square foot green roof on campus. And we also have, in Northeast, we have a smaller food hub and, over there too. So all these food hubs are basically to show people how to grow food, how to prepare food. And we have a kitchen in one of those spaces, but food preparation, is growing and this kind of increasing the food and nutritional security in these different wards.
Brother Shay, let me ask you,
Sure.
why is it imperative that people grow their own food? I mean, and what you're sharing is absolutely great. You're teaching students, you're teaching people how to grow in apartment
Yeah.
communities, but with much of the food being not of the highest quality in this day and age in comparison to when our parents and grandparents grew their own food, why is it imperative that everyone grow some food, whether you are growing inside or outside?
Yeah. So that's a good question. That's a good question, Manifest. So, I, you know, the I would say there's some articles out, and if you look and research information about the food that we were growing now is of a lesser kind of nutrient density or quality of the food we grew probably in the past. And so the food we grew back in maybe like the 50s, 60s, or 40s, whatever, is different quality than what we're growing now. So there are a number of reasons for that. And two of the main reasons, there are three reasons, but two of the main reasons, I'll be quickly, is one is uh, genetic dilution. So, say I have a strawberry, and I want to breed a different type of strawberry, a strawberry which has a bigger fruit as opposed to the other fruit here. So I want to grow a bigger strawberry with a brighter red color on it. So when I do the breeding, taking pollen from one plant, taking it to the other plant, or whether we do breeding like that or biotechnology breeding, sometimes those crops they come out looking well, but they might be different. That crop over here, which we started with, might have a higher amount of maybe calcium in it, might have a higher amount of zinc, may have a higher amount of some other like nutrient or phytonutrient, vitamin C, anything. But sometimes in that breeding process, when we transfer those, genes through traditional breeding or new types of breeding, sometimes the crop that we get might be a beautiful crop, but that crop will be, less nutrient dense. The second type of thing that really kind of gives us a less nutritious crop is something called fertilization uh, dilution, because certain types of fertilizers, if we flood the soil with certain types of fertilizers, which are high in like the three main proponents of fertilizer, which are nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, when we flood the soil profile with those things, there are a lot of other nutrients which are important for plant growth. They get into the plant, but not as much. So calcium, boron, magnesium, zinc, molybdenum, all those kind of nutrients that we need for human health. Because we are really flooding the soil profile and the plant uptake with those, with other nutrients, some of those nutrients might not get uptaken, so you get a less nutrient dense crop. So that's why it's important really to kind of, if you can, to grow your own food, because then you can measure what you're doing. You can measure your fertilization. You can measure your water. And bottom line is, when you what you can't measure, you can't manage. Basically, as
We
far
have a few more minutes, Brother Che. Thank you so much for that. What does a enlightened Earth look like you from a food growing vantage point? Does that mean everyone, every
oh yeah,
family have food? Everyone should be
yeah.
growing
I mean,
food.
every house should be a food factory if you can. I mean, like that last slide you had up there in that far right hand corner, that is a plot that I've been privileged and happy to be part of. Is a Mount Nebo Baptist Church in Mitchellville, Maryland. So they contacted me way earlier this year, and they wanted to do. They got some grant money, and they wanted to do a farm, which is I've been wanting to do that for the past 10, 15 years. I'm trying to find some churches who have a health ministry or have an interest in health, and then doing something on their plant plot, because some of these churches, these mega churches. I mean, these you have a church that maybe sits on 25, 30, 40 acres of land, and the footprint of the church is only probably maybe like 2 acres. So they got all this land. So yeah, that top right hand corner there, and so they contacted me, and so I said, well, they wanted to do a farm, and I said, congratulations, folks. I've been waiting for you. Let's do it. So they contacted me, and we did some crops, and so yeah, all of that stuff. So anyway, that's can be done. That can be really be done. Then also, I mean, growing food in your home. You can grow food in your home through different ways. You can do it hydroponically. That means just put in nutrients and water and things like that. But the thing of the matter is, just grow something. Just grow. Just grow. I mean, one of the things I tell people all the time is some of the things you can grow if you don't have any place to grow land. Just grow some herbs. Some of the most nutritious and antioxidant kind of high kind of anti-cancer herbs are plants that are in the mint family. Mint, MINT family. So basil's in the mint family, oregano's in the mint family, rosemary, believe it or not, all these plants are in the mint family. So when you grow these plants, you can grow these plants indoors or outdoors or just in pots and under lights in your home or whatever. And just start adding that to your food. Just start small. Start small. Yeah,
Indeed,
start small.
indeed.
Yeah.
And if you can put those photos up of the food from garden to table one more time,
Yeah.
uh, Brother McClure, it's had all of the peppers and the okra and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, brother, go ahead.
I mean, these are from your garden, probably, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
Learning,
yeah.
yes. And so I just like to say, from learning from Shay and people like him, we were able to grow okra, tomatoes, bell
You got
peppers.
sweet potatoes, man. You've definitely graduated the master's course. The master, you got an MS, you got a master. And PhD is coming soon, but you got at least a master's or beyond. So you're working on the PhD right there. So you doing good, man. All this peppers, okra, tomatoes.
And Shay, we were able to have a cantaloupe or honeydew melon
Yeah, yeah,
about
all that.
weeks
So,
ago.
so,
And
let me ask you, how did it taste?
oh man, look, that was the best. That was the best melon that I've ever had in my life. To be
I'm
quite honest,
sure it was.
it was the best melon I've ever had in my life.
I'm sure
And
it was,
so,
man. I'm sure it was, man. I'm sure that it was, man. God, and like I said, once you taste it, you know how it tastes. Anything else you taste is different from that in the future. You're like, well, yeah, it's okay, but yeah, because I mean, we know what a good watermelon tastes like. We know what, so now you know what a good melon tastes like. So we know what these foods taste like when they are grown correctly. And so yeah,
indeed.
yeah. So it's
Thank you so much, Brother Shay, for your wisdom,
yeah,
for your insight, for your
yeah,
inspiration. Everyone should be growing food, whether you have an apartment, a balcony, a backyard,
yeah, yeah.
community
It's herbs.
farm.
Yeah, yeah. There's some herbs in the windowsill. You can grow oregano in the windowsill.
Sprout something.
Yeah,
Yes,
sprouts. Yeah, it's no excuse. Yeah, and like I said, with what's coming down the pike as far as socially what we're dealing with, hey, whatever happens, it will happen on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Whatever happens, but you know what? Grow some food, and you will be less worried about what the hell is going on when you grow some food because you won't have time. You can be worried about your crops, your insects, your nutrition of your crop. That will take up a lot of that space in your head as far as what you need to do. Hey,
Thank you.
Manifest, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna have to run, but yeah, it was cool. And so anytime, brother. And
Thank
everybody,
you
just,
so
just
much.
grow some food, everybody. Yeah, peace.
Thank you so much, Brother Che
Thank you.
Axum.
All right.
And grow some food, grow your own food. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stay blessed, and we will
There's
have
no
you
no
back
cu-
again
no
soon.
cu- no culture without agriculture, man. Yeah, peace. Thank you, brother. Thank you,
Indeed.
everybody. All
Indeed.
right, peace.
Thank you so much. And so now we're going to shift gears and bring up our next presenter, um, my good friend, college friend, Robin Ringgold. Robin is a shamanic healer. She is a intuitive guide, a light worker. Um, she shares a beautiful modality known as light language. So if you just are remembering what Reverend Tanya Parker shared about being in tune with your throat chakra, allow that to resonate, and then also remind yourself of what Reverend Anthony Farmer shared about living from the heart. All of that comes together under one system known as light language. So, welcome, Robin Ringgold. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and to see you again. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Thank you. Now, what exactly is light language?
So, the way that I describe it is like a multi-dimensional frequency-based language that is not understood by the mind. So, it has the capacity or the capability to bypass the mind and go right to the physical vessel to break up density in the body. It also speaks directly to your higher self. It also brings in frequencies, helps to modulate frequencies, helps you to integrate different aspects. When I'm out and about in nature and I speak light language, it helps me to communicate with different animals or trees or waters. So it has so many uses. And I want to say it's like our soul's language. And I truly feel that each of us has our own soul language that we can tap into. Some people draw light language, some people sing it, some people speak it. So, it's just like kind of like our soul expression. And that expression comes forth or is discovered through our own personal healing. So, if you can imagine having layers and layers of,
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Um,
yes, I think there's a delay.
Indeed. Feel free to share uh, a light language experience with us.
Okay, wonderful. Whenever I share, I ask each and every person that is receiving to just simply have the intention to receive what is in your highest good, to ask your higher self to allow you to receive what is in alignment with you right here, right now. And the beauty of the light language is it will allow you to receive exactly what you need. So it is almost like customized for you, even though we're in a group setting. So simply tune into your heart as Reverend Bear instructed us. You can even place your hand on your heart and just taking some deep breaths. Once again, having the intention that you receive only that which is in alignment with you, with your soul, with what's good for you. And I'm going to have the intention that this be in alignment with each person that receives this, listens to this, and that it assists you with connecting deeper with your higher self, with your inner wisdom, with your inner guidance system, so that you may discern, so that you may hear your inner wisdom or guidance, And so that you can strengthen that connection through the heart to your soul essence, to your higher self. So as you take a deep breath, just gently closing your eyes, feeling into that heart portal. Mihat iana, kisat u ina at ila, kitantu u sale ite, kitantu ku saite, kimatu masala it an sukue, kilahat it ay ina at ala ut u kiani it ay no utiala at ay sukun, itana at it ay ito no so, sambi itala et ay sukun itana, kipan su ay shishan su u kasle, mahal it na nahale it u kiana saitia. And we set the intention to just clear any energies, any blockages that are keeping you from connecting to your inner guidance, your inner wisdom, your higher self. Mukita nupye etata sukuni sat ila et at ukwini sat ile et at uni isai et aisunu ut at it uku sale et aisuni et aisutunu eta kila at itu tuku aini it aisau ma et eta what it na kia kitan tuku ishina kata isai so what in kisai isa la et o ma et ut isa nahale et ukush at ilekine kitan tuku isale it at ushana it at uyisati kitan su ula it at umba isat at ukwe. I'm just taking a deep breath and just allowing any emotions that might be coming up, any surges of energies. And I'd like now to just bring in the energy of Mother Gaia, because not only does she provide resources for us as we are living upon her, but she is also a beautiful co-creator, and she is also available to assist us in our evolution of consciousness as we connect with her. So through the bottoms of your feet, just feel this enhanced connection with Mother Gaia. For she is a sentient being. Mihat it u kunesat it at uisat u misani it ai ku ansukuene. Bringing in the elementals. Kita nukukunita ay sa taat itatutu masili ikan so pakititaw maitin au itani sat uit at uit satu kiu itaw Taking another deep breath. And really feeling your higher self, your soul's essence. Nahale it mahal it au ush nahasukia. Kale it au it anu so umbele et yahansile kitan su shnahe. Mahale it ukuni tale mohasala at aisuku ina at aisata kitan suku mahatanat ui. Kit al ut it anusumba it ait ma it at u ikatuku nisa it ale it o night it anukui kau esale it an kwai it an sila it nah. And taking another deep breath. And that's the end of the transmission. You might need to do a little bit of breathing to just integrate the energies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Hmm. What what are your suggestions on personal planetary navigation during these times in order to bring about an enlightened Earth? What would you suggest people do in these times? Because, a lot of folks are saying that we have some challenges ahead, and we should never live in fear. We should look at it as an opportunity to transmute, elevate, transform ourselves, and to be the light bearers that we signed up to be. So, what are your suggestions for bringing forth an enlightened Earth from your perspective?
So, my first suggestion always would be to go out in nature. And a lot of people will say, oh, I don't have any place to go near my house or at work. But I think that everybody can find a patch of grass, a tree. Um, Even if you put in your Google and put in a park, you may find parks that are near you. I used to go to neighborhood parks all the time, but spend some time out in nature. Remember that the elementals are sentient, and they can help you to stay grounded, to reconnect. You cannot be in stress and be in nature at the same time. So if you come in a stressed or anxious state, the frequency of nature will calm you, will bring you back to your center. So that's number one, because if we aren't centered, then how can we help to shift anything? How can we hold the vibration so that things can shift in our own lives, and so that we can be examples for others? So that would be number one. Another great tip that I heard from someone years ago was to set a timer on your phone. And during the day, maybe you do it 2, 3 times a day, and just kind of check in with yourself. Okay, how am I feeling? What am I speaking? What am I thinking? Am I in my body? Because a lot of times we leave the body when we are stressed or when things are happening. So, am I making decisions from my heart? Am I living from my heart space? And all of these things affect our frequency and vibration, which then affects others that we come into contact with. So I think that these are some very simple things that we can do. Waking up with the sun, watching the sunrise, sun gazing, and then also even watching the sunset. Maybe you can catch one or the other. Just seeing that will open the heart, keeps the heart open. So when the heart is open, then we are connected to that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, so that we can discern. There's a lot of information out there right now, so we need to be able to discern. And so remember that when we work on ourselves, it has a ripple effect. So we are impacting, everyone that we see, come in contact with the work that we do on ourselves. And then the simple things, if you want to give some money to someone, pay for somebody's, meal, whatever that looks like, those small acts of kindness, they help everybody. They ripple out through other people, and then they're inspired to help someone else. So those are just small, simple things that we can do.
One last thing. What's your vision of an enlightened Earth briefly? What does that look like to you?
And the first thing that I always think of and always envision is that everybody has access to basic necessities: food, shelter, water, safety, community. That's like really big for me. And then I think where we really co-create, that we're not in competition with one another, that we're co-creating, that we can see each of our own uniqueness, and we can celebrate that, and we can come together in that uniqueness.
Thank you so much, Robin.
Thank
It's
you.
been truly a blessing to have you bring forth your light, love, and wisdom with us, light language, your insights. And so I know you're going to continue to do the great work. You help so many people, and you've been an inspiration today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure and my honor. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And so as we move forward, everyone, let's be mindful of getting out in nature, wherever we are, connecting with the elements, Something as simple as aligning our cycles with nature's cycles, waking up with the sun, eating accordingly if possible, getting sound sleep, being in tune with the elements and the animals around us. And so with that, I'm going to share just a little bit now of what's known as Qigong. Qi means energy, Gong means cultivation. And so if we're going to co-create an enlightened earth, we must be mindful about the energy that we have within us and around us. Everything is energy: our thoughts, our words, our foods, the chairs in which we're sitting on, the beds in which we're sleeping. Everything that we see and don't see is energy. And so at the end of the day, what we do with our energy not just impacts us, but everything and everyone around us. And so we've heard about, I think it's the thousand monkey concept, where you have animals on one side of the earth or one area that begin to do new behaviors, and other people energetically sense that, and they can mimic that and imitate that. And before you know it, we have what's known as a collective consciousness, an expansion of an energy field. And so being in tune with our energy, our chi, our prana, our ra, and being wise with how we allocate that and share that can be instrumental in terms of co-creating an enlightened earth. And so I'm going to show you a few exercises now. Okay, I want everyone to sit up and just to take a brief moment here. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Another deep breath in and breathing out. Make sure you're breathing from the diaphragm. We call this dantian. It's just below the navel, 2 inches inside of the navel. Another deep breath in. And relax and exhale. And so being in tune with our energy is being a steward of our life force in a way where it is mutually beneficial to our families, our communities, the planet, the animals. You'll find that the animals will start walking up around you and being in peace with them. And so I want everyone to actually just bring your palms here. Sit up. I want you to bring your palms about an inch apart. Take a deep breath in. And I want you to tune in to the areas between the palms. We call those the Laogun points. Other systems call them palm chakras. Exhale. We can emit and absorb energy between the palms there. Another deep breath in. And breathing out. And then slowly circulate the palms here as if you're massaging an energy bubble. Feel the life force between your palms. This is your energy. Circulate the palms in the other direction. You've heard the mantra that power lies within our own hands. That is true. See if you can tune in the energy between the palms. If you take an inhale, I want you to bring the palms out 5 inches to expand your energy. And then exhale, slowly bring them back to the original place. Now inhale out 10 inches. And exhale back to the original place. Being mindful of our energy. Inhale out 20 inches. And then exhale slowly back to the original place. And then slowly bring the palms out here. I want you to imagine yourself holding Gaia, Mother Earth, between your palms. I want you to tune in to your breathing, diaphragm, the area we call the dantian, just below the navel. Also want you to bring your awareness to your heart. Tune in to your heart on each inhale and exhale. I'm going to guide you through a healing sound exercise now. An Om sound, which is actually a yogic mantra, OM, AUM. can also be spelled ULM, Universal Love Movement. The Om sound is a mantra. It represents oneness, omnipotence, universal love. The HAW sound, ha, from the heart, all right, is a Qigong sound that aligns with the heart. So we're going to combine those. We're going to bring the energy down from heaven through the crown, and then we're going to open up the heart and expand the heart with the ha sound. So I'm going to demonstrate. Bring the palms up. Om ha. Expanding that heart. Bring the palms up. Take a deep breath in. Om. Bring the palms down. Get to the heart. Open the heart. Expand the heart. Ha. Again, inhale the oneness energy. Om. A few more times. Deep breath in. Om. One more time. Inhale. Om. So just hold Mother Earth, Gaia here. Nourishing Mother Earth with the heart mind. You opened up the pineal gland, the crown, as well as the heart. I want you to smile at Mother Earth, sending love from your heart mind. Not your ego mind, but your heart mind. I want you to slowly nourish the planet by bringing the palms over like this, holding the earth here, just like a newborn baby. We're giving birth to a new consciousness, a new humanity, an enlightened earth. And then slowly bring the palms as if you're turning this newborn. And continue. Make sure the palms are always facing. You should feel some energy there. Tuning in from your heart mind. Slowly back in the other direction. Just breathing naturally. Just smiling, turning the earth. Massaging the earth with this heart mind love activation. Again, back in the other direction. Now, as we help Mother Earth Gaia grow and expand beyond the 3D paradigm to her 5D natural self, I want you to bring the palms out and just expanding from your heart mind, expanding the earth, holding the earth here, expanding beyond divisiveness, division, lower vibrations, expanding beyond who we think we are, what neighborhood we're from, what gender, what ethnicity. All those things play a role, and we give thanks for those that we chose to come into this incarnation, but none of them adequately articulate and describe, define who we are. Expanding beyond our title, our job, what we look like, how we speak. Expanding beyond our lower nature. Opening the heart, mind, to infinite possibilities. Expanding the earth. Now I want you to slowly lift this expanded, enlightened earth up. And then roll the earth forward as if you're moving the earth forward, and then down. Pulling the earth back, coming up through the lower nature, energy centers in the body, up through the heart, up to the pineal gland, the crown. We're one with the earth, rolling the earth forward like we're rolling a ball and moving humanity and the planet forward and down. And one more time, bringing the earth energy up within our own being. We are one with the planet. The earth is a living being, and so are we. Up, pineal gland, the crown, slowly rolling the earth forward and sinking the energy down. And just for a few breaths, I want you to, every cell in your body, 20 to 70 trillion cells in the body, each cell is a living being within itself. I want you to send love and light energy to this planet. Envision people coming into unity consciousness, living from the heart mind, as Reverend Anthony Farmer shared, speaking their truth, living from their authentic voice, their unique spiritual DNA that they came here in this incarnation to bring forward, as Reverend Tanya Parker shared. See people growing food, family members that you never thought would grow some food. See them growing food and enjoying the fruits of their own labor. See children enjoying the process of planting seeds. See our elders with wisdom planting seeds for new generations. Let's see communities, bountiful communities with gardens. Let's see people growing inside, outside. People around the world planting seeds, growing their own food. Let's see people embracing their own light language, as Robin Ringgold shared. Their own unique mantras and sounds that are unique to them, that move beyond even normal comprehension. That bring us into alignment with all the elements, nature itself, and all of the human family and the planet. Slowly bring the palms together now. And slowly take a bow to honor this divine energy within ourselves and all sentient beings. Slowly back up. Ashe. So it is. Yes. Now we have a beautiful presenter, Mama Audrey Scott Williams. She's going to share a planetary forecast, what we can expect and how we can best bring forward our divine light, our God consciousness, to help shift any negative energies and bring forward an enlightened earth. Mama Audrey Scott Williams, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. This has been a beautiful opportunity for us to ground in the energy of love and light and realize the impact of that on our consciousness, on our bodies, and even beyond. I wasn't able, you were breaking up towards the end, but what I wanted to add to the conversation that I think surmises everything that we've said. I think that's what I'm to do here. We have a couple of minutes. Is that correct? I wanted to just share the now time imperatives. Excuse me?
Yes, we have time. You have your time, yes.
Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Y-
So
Yes,
in
can you
the
hear me?
grandmothers, everyone that spoke here spoke, I think, directly to uh, what is emerging, this new age of return to the wholeness of the earth, the wholeness of ourselves, the value of who we are, what we eat, how we honor our bodies, our breath, how we honor the earth. And throughout the time that I've been listening, what I felt was so important was that the grandmothers say that unconditional love of self is what allows us to healing ourselves, but also healing others and having an effect on Mother Earth and even the universe. Even though it may be hard to conceptualize how can I as an individual affect all of that? But that is just how powerful and how seamless it is in with life, with love, with the knowing of who we are. The second thing they say is that you've got to know your truth, and then you got to live it. It's not enough to just talk about it. You got to live it. And what I've heard here is this incredible plethora of opportunities for so many ways for us to live into that truth. And the third thing is divine action without thought. Sometimes we get so caught up in the activities that we we're afraid to do something on our own, something that an inspired action. And again, those who have been on the call so far talked about the importance of taking a step, whether it's taking a step in a garden, whether it's in a language that you're confident in expressing, but taking that step in meditation and all the ways that we can call forward change. So divine action without thought. If you feel it, move with it and see what comes forward. All possibility exists in the infinite moment. We think of time in terms of a 24-hour period. Well, actually, those are cycles. Time is infinite. And so when we are moving beyond just the clock, if you will, and moving with the rhythm of the body, the breath, and all that is good, the cycles of time, the sun, the moon, the wind, the ocean, we are living in harmony. And that's an important piece that I heard over and over again as well. The harmonizing of our energetic field to nature. The next is look with your eyes and see what is before you. Look with your heart and see all there is. And we often think of what we are looking at has all the answers, but you can close your eyes and see so much more, feel so much more deeply, and be inspired. These ideas and possibilities show up as inspired actions that we can take that can help us to heal and to transform ourselves, others, and the world. Also, in service, we learn. So that's number 6 with the grandmothers. In service to others, we learn. So it's not just about us, it's not just about what I feel, what I know. It's about how can I be sensitive to the needs of others and be in service, offer myself up to help where help is needed, or to just sit with someone who needs someone close by, or go sit and lean on a tree and just feel the presence of the tree. It's like the mycelia that just runs all through the earth, holding this network together. We have that same capacity. The greater the acceleration, number 7, of things around you, the slower you should walk. Our our energy in this earth plane, we're always rushing here and there. We got to beat the clock, we got to do that. That's the kind of language we use. Well, you can beat the clock all you want to, but it is in the slowing down that we create the openings for us to realize the truth of who we are and how deep we are and how connected we are with the earth, even with the cosmos, even with this inner self that has its own language and expression. Number 9 was language no longer speaks truth. Speak with purpose and intent, or not at all. We feel we have to fill space with our words, fill space with the languaging, but the language that we use is not a language that yields truth. And so we must go inside and find that deeper truth, whether we're creating a chant or creating a language of our own, or whether we're just simply learning that language is also listening. Number 10, remove yourself from judgment. And I think I heard that on several of our speakers today. Release that sense of judgment. Do not love only that which serves your personal desires. Love even more those things that appear not to serve you. In consciousness, these are the things that make you grow. Growth is always towards balance. Give thanks and seek to understand the lessons. So when we're going through different things and we're desiring, sometimes, we're trained in this culture that we live in, that stuff is the answer to our salvation. And actually, the truth is that stuff is what is killing us, what is causing us to not be thrivable. And what we want to be is thriving. And so we've got to let go and let the energy of the Most High run through us in a way that we can connect and understand and be in atonement with it. And finally, walk on Mother Earth, the grandmothers say, to heal the planet and to heal yourselves. If we're not putting our feet in the soil, if we're not breathing fresh air, touching the water, touching the tree, the gardens, oh my gosh, I saw the pictures of the gardens and I almost fell out of my chair. It was so beautiful. That is all enlightening, not only in nourishing our physical body, but nourishing our mental body, our creative self, those messages that come from us and guide us into something that is more profound, something that is leading us in a powerful way to be an expression of the divine right here in the here and now, where we are, not having to die and go on to heaven. Heaven is right here on earth. That is what the earth is. It's a heavenly body, and so are we. So those are the comments that I wanted to share. And I'm just so grateful to have an opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Mama Audrey. Question, and all of those were very insightful and very informative. What would you say are some of the most important um, steps we should take to bridge where we are now to an enlightened Earth? Because we're hearing people saying, "Hey, that there's maybe some challenges." Anytime you have a system or systems that are dissolving, old systems that we as we see them around us are dissolving, we have new systems that are emerging, and some people are how can I say, are very challenged with these shifts that are taking place. So what are some of the most important things we can do to navigate these times and to bring and to be the best version of ourselves?
Live your truth is number one for me. We have to digest and let go of all the negative things that have been placed within our consciousness that keeps us in bondage. And so we do that by, as you shared, the meditations, the movements, the alternative languaging, the gardens, the meditations, all of that is a part of what can allow us to disconnect from an energetic field that is literally killing us. And so I recommend that, I didn't mention water. Water is so important. We need the liquid moving through our bodies, helping the toxins to move through and out from us. And so I think the most important thing right now is remembering And when I say remembering, I'm talking about remembering who we are. And we get that in meditation. We get that in our breath work. We get that in the languaging that our guest spoke of. We get that in, I think that was Reverend Tanya Parker. We get that in so many different ways. But if we don't stop, you've got to you've got to stop. You got to stop, get off the merry-go-round of this culture that is divisive and destructive, and not based on the wholeness of who we are as a planet, as individuals, and the God selves that we are. So we've got to go back to come forward. We got to back it up, remember who we are, and then live into that with our diets, with how we treat when illness does show up, because the toxins have to be released. And that was also mentioned. Those toxins in our bodies from all this confusion has to be released, and all the poisons that have been ingested in us. And so those are the things that I think are so important right now. I think we need to go sit in gardens, sit in the parks, sit in the woods, go to the ocean, go to nature. Nature will always demonstrate possibilities for our highest self.
Do you see us becoming a new version of ourselves as beings? Some say we should be identifying as luminous beings and not even as human beings, as light beings, if you will. Do you see um, us evolving into a new version of ourselves as a human family?
I see us evolving into who we always have been. So we are illuminous beings. That's who we are. History, what's happened over the ages, has sifted that from us, has taken that from us through the toxins, through the way we've been treated, all of those things. This whole focus on a monetary system that, the more money you have, the better you are. All of that is chaos and confusion. It is literally killing not only the plants, it is killing us. I'm with the Worldwide Indigenous Science Network, and we just left Alaska with indigenous individuals from uh, the Bushmen, uh, to the indigenous keepers in the Amazon, and different, so all over. Okay, so we're in Alaska, and the one thing that we did, and this was so beautiful, because were indigenous cultures that have lived their life in indigenous ways in spite of the challenges. We did ceremony, we sang, we shared our stories, we cared for one another, we nurtured one another, but we kept the stories and the ceremonies going. We ate well. When you go back to that, your illumination, the illumination in you just comes out. Everywhere we went, when people would see us, they were just enthralled by, who are you? Who are these people? Because we were illuminated, because we were living our natural selves. So going back to come forward is letting go of all the indoctrinations that we've been given, all the toxic ways we're eating and taking care of ourselves, and simply take the time to watch the sun rise in the morning, to watch the moon settle at night, to look at the stars, to drink the waters, the pure waters of the earth. All of that contributes, and to bring our bodies into alignment with the movement of the earth. Trees move when the wind blows. Plants do the same thing. You know, how can we align ourselves so that we can remember how good we are if we just take the time? And it's not going to be easy. I'm not trying to say that it is. I think for those of us who are ready, we're already illuminated, and we're doing it. We're doing the work. Look at that garden. Do you know, just in the picture, I could see the luminosity of the garden. That's awesome. I could hear the tonal frequencies of the chant, the languaging that was unique. We can all do that. We are already illumined, but are we ready to take responsibility for that? Are we ready to affirm that in our lives becomes the question, because we've always been God's.
Shay. Last question, Mama Audrey. What does an enlightened earth look like for you?
Oh my gosh. It looks like the gardens. It looks like the sounds and frequencies of the chants and the languaging. It looks like everything thriving. And in us, as we are, seeing that illuminating energy inside of us, um, all of that to me. And I think we are moving in that direction, but we're small tribes right now, but our tribes are growing. And so when the children are doing well, the messiahs say, they don't say, hello, how are you? They say, how are the children? And when we can honestly say to each other, how are the children? And give that beautiful, or the children are well, the children are happy, the children are fed good food, they're singing great songs, they're dancing, then we're moving more and more into the truth of who we are.
Mm, yes. Thank you so much for your wisdom, love, and light. Mama Audrey Scott Williams, and you work with the Divine Feminine. You work with people across the planet. You've done walks, different continents, and so you're a treasure. We greatly appreciate you. You're part of many indigenous councils. I mean, your bio, you could probably write a book, but now time. So the time is now. You know what I mean? This is not about, dwelling in the past and, as you said, learning from the past in order to move forward, that Sankofa energy. So thank you so much for giving us insight, tips, and strategies on what we need to do. And this time, we'd like to bring a few of our other guest light workers on. And in closing, kind of just share where we can go from here. So welcome back, Robin and Reverend Tanya. And thank you all. And we also want to give thanks to our brother Che Axum and Reverend Dr. Anthony Farmer. And so in that, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity, a few brief moments to close out. Robin, what are your closing words for going forward in these times to bring forward a better world? Enlighten.
Well, I absolutely love what Mama Audrey said, that we are already our gods. We already are that. The only thing that this time calls for is that deep healing and remembrance. Like, we have such an incredible opportunity in this lifetime to connect with all that we have ever been, all that we ever will be, not just on this plane, but in other planes and dimensions, and also connecting with our ancestors. They're walking with us and supporting us. So, with all of that and with that remembrance, we are co-creators. So nothing is impossible. So with all these systems breaking down, we're being asked to co-create and build anew. So thank you.
Oh, Shay. Reverend Tanya Parker.
I love that, Robin. Thank you. And I was so moved by the wisdom by Mama Audrey. What comes forth over and over and over again for me is so many of the things that are happening now that we may label as bad, or we're going to hell in a handbasket or whatnot. It's all a call to community, to return to community, to return to the land, to return to nature, as so many of you spoke to, and for us to heal together, use the power of the collective for our healing. We are all co-creating together, and we're co-creating each other for our deepest healing and transformation. So let's not run away from it. Let's not shy from it. Let's not try to numb it out and distract, because we have plenty of that going on. Let's do the work together and see what we can co-create, being our true authentic selves.
Oh, Shay. Thank you so much, Reverend Tanya. Mama Audrey, I want you to close us out with your final words and also a prayer as well afterwards, a closing prayer. But what words of wisdom do you have for us moving forward?
Were you asking me to say something, Baba?
Hmm. Mama
Okay, I
Audrey,
just wanted
are
to
you with us?
I would like to close out with a statement from Leon Shenandoah that I think is relevant for us to think about. These are our times and responsibilities. Every human being has a sacred duty to protect the welfare of our Mother Earth, from whom all life comes. In order to do this, we must recognize the enemy, the one within us. We must begin to see ourselves. We must begin with the work of healing ourselves. Thank you.
Shay, wow, beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this powerful day, this day of transmutation and transformation. Make sure you click the like button. You subscribe to the Heal Humanity channel. Let me see. Oh, we got Reverend Anthony, Dr. Anthony Farmer here. Your words of closing, Reverend Farmer. Please share a few words of closing for the listeners.
Thank you. I was in the background. In everything that has been shared, and we've shared a lot, and we've brought forth a lot of wisdom and a lot of remembrance. And the what I would like to say for all of us is, several days ago, someone asked me about my spiritual practice, and I said my spiritual practice is breathing, to breathe and to remember the breath. And so, in closing, I offer for all of us to remember the sacredness of the breath, because all the work that we have shared, and the suggestions we've shared, and things that we can support in creating a new earth, an enlightened earth, a new ourselves, or a renewed self, all begin with the breath. Ashe, amen. Wow.
Ashe.
Man. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Farmer. And so, with that, we're going to close out. You can find Reverend Farmer, Reverend Tanya Parker, Mama Audrey, Che Axum, and Robin Ringgold's information in the video itself, the event summary, video summary. Reach out to them by email, website. They're doing great work. We will be having upcoming events with Heal Humanity to collaborate with beautiful light workers such as Reverend Farmer, Reverend Parker, Mama Audrey, and so many more. And with that, we want to wish everyone peace, love, happiness, divine empowerment, discernment in these times as you move forward, and affirm that you have a reason for being here. If you are watching this video right now, you're not just a bystander, you're not just a participant, you are on the front lines. Some of you might be in the background, but you have a pivotal role in the planetary transformational consciousness movement here. And so never shy away from any part that you can play, whether it's as I think Reverend Farmer or Mama Audrey or Reverend Parker said, it can be lifting someone up with encouragement on a daily basis, being more mindful and using wisdom and discernment on how am I using my words? How am I speaking? How am I speaking to myself? How am I speaking to those around us? Um, a, a word of upliftment can not only change the trajectory of one person's life, but it can change an entire family and so many others. And so live from the heart, as Reverend Farmer shared, and embrace the now time with attention and remembrance, as Mama Audrey shared, and so many others. And with that, we wish everyone peace, love, and harmony. Shay.
Ashe.
Mm.